Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So glad you're here. If you're into true crime, you like to cut past all the sensationalism, all the fluff, you have found the right place, and I am glad you did. My name is Gavin. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to be talking about the murder of Matthew Restelli, a California man who was lured to the state of Utah for the purpose of murder. And police are alleging that those who committed this conspiracy and this murder are none other than his estranged wife, Kathryn Restelli, her mother, Tracey Grist, and her brother, a man named Kevin Ellis, who I haven't been able to find a photo of. But what we've got for you today is we're going to be going through the criminal complaint. In the state of Utah, they call it the information page. I'll bring you over to it here real quick so you can see. This is what we're looking at. It is the complaint, state of Utah versus Kevin Stanley Ellis, Kathryn Restelli, and Tracey Marie Grist. Now, you guys might be wondering, what is going on in Utah that something like, stuff like this is happening? Well, Utah, along with Idaho and Florida, are the most open states in the nation when it comes to ease of access for the media to get information on a case. It's actually kind of shocking to me that I can't find Mr. Ellis's mugshot, but Utah is a very open state. It's very easy to get documents, and so that is what I have done. I hope you guys are over in the live chat. Let's bring it up over here so that I can kind of see what you guys are talking about over there. Name says, Gavin, I am so thrilled finally caught alive. Glad you are here. And it looks like we have got a lot of you on here. I'm glad you're here, guys. Okay. Let's go over to the document here, and we're just going to kind of start reading. We're not going to read the whole thing, but it's only 11 pages. It's not like this is a super long document or anything like that. But here we are, state of Utah through the Utah County Attorney's Office. Guys, when you're looking at northern Utah, it's really northeastern Utah, kind of where there's that cut out where Wyoming kind of sits in. Salt Lake City just kind of sits right there near that corner. And then as you go down Interstate 15, you get to the greater Provo-Orem area. Right at the tip of the mountain where the two valleys converge, it goes from Salt Lake County to Utah County. And this occurred in North Utah County in a place called American Fork. A place my Utah grandfather would call American Fork, but that is because he had his own little pigeon. It was really kind of funny the way he spoke. Anyway, state of Utah through the Utah County Attorney's Office charges the defendants with the commission of the following offenses. Count 1, murder with domestic violence in parentheses, a first-degree felony in violation of this code. In that, on or about July 12th, 2024 in Utah County, the defendants, Kevin Stanley Ellis, Kathryn Restelli, and Tracey Marie Grist, and I've seen her name spelled without an E, Tracy, and I've seen it with, but it's spelled like this in this document, did A, intentionally or knowingly cause the death of another individual, B, intending to cause serious bodily injury to another individual, the actor commits an act clearly dangerous to human life that causes the death of the other individual, C, acting under circumstances evidencing a depraved indifference to human life, the actor knowingly engages in conduct that creates a grave risk of death to another individual and thereby causes the death of the other individual, or D, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Furthermore, the defendants and victim were or are cohabitants by this Utah code. And I think that is why they're calling it domestic violence. They were once cohabitants. Count 2, conspiracy to commit murder with domestic violence modifier there, a second-degree felony. And it says that on July 12th in Utah County, the defendants did, intending that conduct constituting the crime of murder be performed in violation of the above code, agree with one or more persons to engage in or cause the performance of the conduct. Again, the victims were or are cohabitants. Count 3, obstruction of justice in criminal investigations or proceedings, exceptions. A second-degree felony. In that, on July 12th in Utah County, the defendants did, with intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of any person regarding the conduct that constitute a criminal offense. And it goes through all the stuff that qualify here, and we're going to read the affidavit, okay? Count 4. The reason I'm going through these counts, by the way, guys, is because like count 4 and 5 really, really bothers me. I mean, crying out loud, murder has already taken place, right? There's enough to be bothered about. But it's even worse. Count 4, commission of domestic violence in the presence of a child, a third-degree felony in violation of this code. And there are 2 counts here that are the same thing, right? In that, on or about July 12th in Utah County, the defendants did commit or attempt to commit a criminal homicide offense against a cohabitant in the presence of a child. I think because there are 2 counts, there would be 2 children present when it happened. Okay. Now what happened here, guys, is Mr. Ellis had been arrested for this prior. Not as a murder, but anyway, he had been arrested for this prior. I'm trying to remember the details, but just in the last couple of weeks, his sister and his mother were also added to it. Okay. All right. Count 6 is possession of a firearm by a person that is restricted, a category 2 person. So Kevin Stanley Ellis, and I looked it up on Google, what is a category 2 restricted person in Utah? And basically that's somebody who is just prohibited from possessing firearms or selling them, even if it's for self-defense. And why? Well, he could have been convicted of a felony, including domestic violence. He could have been convicted of multiple felonies. He could have been adjudicated delinquent for an offense that would have been a felony if committed by an adult. And there are all these other things, right? So Mr. Ellis, I mean, if you're going to choose a person that you're going to have a conspiracy with, maybe not do it with somebody who's a category 2 person, not to possess firearms. I don't know if he's a felon or if he's mentally incompetent or mentally defective or whatever. He was dishonorably discharged from the armed forces. I don't know, but probably a bad guy to conspire with. And then possession, count 7 is possession or use of a controlled substance, specifically cocaine. And it looks like Mr. Ellis was in possession of, or alleged to be in possession of, that substance. Okay. Here is the probable cause statement. This is the stuff that we like to know, right? Okay, Joseph Norden of the American Fork Police Department, having probable cause to believe that the defendant committed the above listed offenses, submitted the following evidence in support of the filing of this information. And then the summary says, Kevin Ellis, Tracey Grist, and Kathryn Restelli conspired to commit the murder of Kathryn's husband, Matt Restelli. Tracey is Kathryn and Kevin's mother, making her Matt's mother-in-law. Kevin is Matt's brother-in-law. So Matt is our victim. Here's another photo when they got married. They do have a minor child there in that photo. I recognize that mountain range, by the way, guys. There is Kathryn Restelli, Tracey Grist, the mother/mother-in-law, and then Kevin, we don't have a picture of. Okay. Kathryn and Tracey worked together to lure Matt into driving to Utah and then to entering Tracey's house, where Kevin was waiting armed with a handgun. Almost immediately after Matt arrived, Kevin shot and killed Matt, who was unarmed. Kathryn, Tracey, and Kevin then planted a knife in Matt's hand in an attempt to make it look like the shooting was in self-defense. And I think that is the, where is that? Count 3, I think is what it was, right? Obstruction of justice. They endeavored to hide the crime. By the way, this was filed, this document was filed, it's probably down at the very end here, November 4th. Yeah. Okay. Going back up. All right. Probable cause, the shooting and initial police contact. On or about, and by the way, we're going to get to your comments, so put a GF in them if you want me to see them. On or about July 12th, 2024 at 10:06 p.m., Matt, our victim, arrived at Tracey's duplex home in a gated community in American Fork, Utah. A neighbor's security system caught Matt's arrival on video. At 10:07 p.m., KL, who lives in the duplex connected to Tracey's duplex, heard 6 to 8 gunshots coming from Tracey's side of the duplex. KL called 911 at 10:09 p.m. Tracey did not call 911 until 10:15:45, approximately 8 or 9 minutes after the shooting, and approximately 6 minutes after the neighbor called 911. American Fork police officers arrived at the home at 10:17 p.m., and Kevin answered the front door. The interior lights to the house were all off inside, except for a cabinet light in the kitchen. A pair of men's sandals were placed neatly just inside the entrance of the residence right before the carpet started. The initial responding officer found Matt's body mere feet from the front door, laying face down in the middle of a hallway with no shoes on. Oh my goodness. Matt had no pulse. He was already dead. It also appeared that Matt was gripping a knife in his right hand. Let's highlight this. Okay. So these conspirators, these brilliant sages of criminal mastermindery, are leading police to believe that a man with a knife intent on killing Mr. Ellis, Kevin, would come in and neatly take his shoes off first. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. I mean, come on. Okay, the officer called out and asked if anyone else was in the house, and a woman identified herself as Kathryn, Matt's wife. Kathryn stated she had 2 small children, 3 and 5 years old, that were asleep upstairs. Kathryn also told an officer that she had been upstairs and was waiting for Matt to come and talk to her. As police took Kevin and Tracey outside, Tracey yelled to Kevin, "Don't say anything." Well, I mean, that might be the only smart thing that they did in all this. Yeah, don't talk to the police. I mean, all of you who are law-abiding citizens, which I'm sure you are, who are watching my channel, don't talk to the police. Don't do it without a lawyer, okay? Avail yourself of your rights. It's the right thing to do. And it's the safe thing to do. And the stupid criminals, I wish they would talk to police. And so I don't know if this really is an indication of guilt here at all. They have a right to an attorney. Anyway, Tracey told officers that Matt and Kathryn were going through a separation and that Matt had come to the house with a knife and that her son Kevin had shot him. Kevin's interview with police. Post Miranda, Kevin told a detective that he was afraid for his life and shot Matt in self-defense. Kevin's attorney, who was present during Kevin's interview, wow, for such stupid conspiracy idiots. They lawyered up. Oh my goodness. Added that Matt entered the home unannounced, was armed with a knife, and took Kevin and Tracey by surprise after apparently he slipped off his shoes. He also stated that Matt backed Kevin up to a wall and that Kevin shot Matt in self-defense at close range. Kevin explained further that he never saw Matt pull out a knife, so he believed that Matt must have come into the house wielding the knife. Kevin also added that he had no idea what kind of knife it was. When Kevin was taken into custody and transported to the police station for the interview, he had a black handgun holster on his person. Remember, this is a guy that is, I mean, Utah is a state that is right-leaning. It's a red state. There are pretty conservative laws when it comes to gun ownership and carrying and concealing in the state of Utah. So it would normally be okay for a person to have a holster on his person, and if they had a carry and conceal permit, have a gun concealed, that would be perfectly okay. But this is a person that is registered as somebody who is not to carry a firearm. Forensic evidence of the shooting and the planting of the knife on Matt's body. By the way, so he backed him up to a wall, but Kevin was shot mere feet from the front door. So yeah, police are going, nah, I don't believe it. All right. The front door to Tracey's home opens onto a small entryway. Immediately forward and to the right is the home's living room, which leads into the dining area. Immediately forward to the left is a hallway where Matt's body was found. Okay, so small entryway. In front of you is a hallway. To the right of you, or in front of you to the left, I guess, is a hallway. To the right of you is the living room going into the dining room. Okay. The hallway leads to the kitchen and connects to the dining area. Officers located 8 bullet casings in the living room near the front door. They also located 3 bullet holes in doors or walls close to the front door. The location of the bullet casings and bullet holes indicated that Kevin was in the living room as he shot Matt, who was moving from the front door into the hallway. So not coming toward him. A medical exam showed that Matt had been shot once directly in the chest, once on the side of his right upper torso, 3 times in the back, once in the back of the hip, and once in his right wrist. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the 8 shots made contact, unless the one to the wrist was a double hit. Okay, a knife found in Matt's right hand was a single-edged blade that had a handle with a finger grip. Okay. Matt's hand was gripping the knife with the finger grip pushing into the palm of his hand, while the spine part of the handle, which is normally held against the palm, was pushing into Matt's fingers. So it looks like they rushed the knife into his hand. However, there was both an entry and exit wound on Matt's right wrist where he was holding the knife. I would imagine that if you had a knife in your hand and you were going to use it, when you got shot in the wrist, I imagine that would cause, you know, your strength to leave your hand. You would drop the knife. I think that's the reason why they're including that here. Okay. Plus it was backwards from what it was supposed to be. Oh my goodness, these people. Additionally, Matt is left-handed. In other words, Matt was holding the knife in his offhand in the wrong position with a wound that would have practically prevented him from even gripping the knife. Taken together, the physical evidence indicates the knife was planted in Matt's hand after the shooting. All right, let's go over to your comments here, guys. Give me a second. Let's bring these up. Okay. You guys, are you chatting over here? Let's see what you're saying. Gavin, it's not because they gave more wacky defendants. Yeah, these are weird defendants for sure. Mr. Fish, a geography expert. Yeah. Well, I was born in Salt Lake and I lived up in the Uinta Basin. My hometown is Peoria, Utah. If you guys have been following me since Corey Richens, that whole area is my stomping grounds when I was a child. We then moved to California where I was raised. My grandparents later moved down to Orem, which is in Utah County. I've got siblings in Utah. I know the place pretty darn well. Jenna Hay says, Gavin, I had the worst day today and I'm glad you're doing a live. Needed the, well, I don't like to pat myself on the back like that. Thank you very much for that comment. Becca agrees that I have a lovely soothing voice. Goodness, guys. Let's see. Kimberly says, Gavin, I had a dear friend and one of his friends murdered by his friend's wife, mother, and mother's boyfriend. They masked up and broke in and cut both of... Ooh, ow, that is terrible. I'm very sorry to hear that, Kimberly. Wow. Goodness sakes. Holy cow. Gavin, Matt's brother Mark, I think, made a video on YouTube addressing his brother's redrum. I'm not sure. Hold on. You are a lawyer and you're going to use terminology that I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. His channel is he alive? Oh, I see live. Got it. It's heartbreaking. Let's show him some love from the fish tank. You got it. I will look that up. Thanks, Aida. I appreciate that. See if there's anything else you guys are saying to me. Terry Cat. Gavin, the way they put the knife in his hand with the blade facing his face and the knife in the wrong hand. So the cops know they staged it. Plus his mom bought the knife on Amazon, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna get into more of this. Yeah, it's just absolutely nuts what's going on here. Okay. Let's go back. Oh man, sorry about that, guys. I should have brought up Matt's picture while I was doing that. I got ahead of myself. Okay, going back over here. Here we go. Search of Kevin's bedroom. Officers searched Kevin's room and on the nightstand found Kevin's identification together with a rolled up $1 bill that field tested positive for having cocaine on it. Dude, if you're going to conspire to murder someone, oh my goodness. Like maybe not have cocaine in the house. Maybe not do it with a guy that's not supposed to have a gun. Like I'm glad that they made these horrible, stupid mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for that. But, oh my goodness. Dumb criminals never cease to amaze me. Okay, additional statements made by, I think he did not mean to put that in there, by Tracey and Kathryn. Post Miranda, Tracey said that she knew that Matt was coming to her home and that he would be arriving a little after 10. Tracey said that she was sitting at the kitchen counter and the next thing she knew, Matt was in the kitchen and said hi. Okay, so he made it all the way to the kitchen. Tracey stated Matt appeared agitated and he began to walk away asking if Kathryn was upstairs. Tracey said yes, but that Kathryn would come down. Tracey stated she then heard gunshots while she was still sitting at the kitchen counter. She said she then ran into the hall and saw Matt lying face down. She stated she then went upstairs to tell Kathryn not to come downstairs and that she, Tracey, then called the police. You know, one of the things that strikes me here is that if I was going to, say I was in a house and I heard gunshots, like I am not a trained law enforcement officer. I'm not ex-military. I'm not a person who's trained for this stuff. I don't think I would run toward the gunshots. I think I would run away from the gunshots, maybe toward the people that I love most. So that's a little weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Kathryn told officers, of course, they waited 9 minutes, but Kathryn told officers that she and Matt lived in California and had been struggling financially, and that Matt had been verbally abusive. She said that on June 20th, 2024, she took their 2 children and drove to American Fork to live with her mother while Matt stayed in California. On July 11th, Matt made arrangements for Kathryn to rent a vehicle to drive back to California. Kathryn said that due to having an out-of-state driver's license and only a debit card, she was unable to pick up the rental car. She said Matt told her he would drive to Utah to pick her and her 2 children up and take them home to California. Kathryn then said Matt told her he would arrive at her address at 10:10 p.m. Kathryn told police she was undecided if she was going to return to California with Matt or if she would continue to stay in Utah and stay separated. She said she was in the upstairs bedroom waiting for Matt to arrive when at about 10:15 p.m. she heard commotion coming from downstairs and then heard gunshots. She said Tracey came upstairs to inform her that an incident had occurred and to stay in the room and that she, Tracey, was going to call the police. That does sound awfully rehearsed to me. All right. Electronic evidence. Kathryn's cell phone and iPad. Oh, this is where it gets good, guys. Oh my goodness. This is where it really starts to get good. Like, I can't believe the depths of stupidity that criminals will go to, but this is going to be a deep abyss. It is a Marianas Trench of deep stupidity that we're about to get into. And I mean, other than the fact that a man is dead, and I shouldn't be getting any joy out of this, I am deeply grateful that these people are that stupid. Okay. Here we go. Kathryn's cell phone and iPad, Tracey's cell phone, and Matt's cell phone were collected by the police. The following is a partial description of incriminating evidence found on those devices. The knife found in Matt's hand was made by a company called Evatac. While searching Tracey's phone, detectives found an email that was sent by Tracey on April 10th, 2024 to support@mytacticalpromos.com. In the email, Tracey asked the company to stop sending a subscription for tactical box mystery gifts to a certain friend of hers. Tracey was at that friend's house in California from April 2nd to April 14th, 2024, helping the friend move into an assisted living center. A detective found a video connected to mytacticalpromos.com that showed the unboxing of one such tactical box. Inside of the box shown on the video was what appeared to be the exact model and color of the knife that was in Matt's hand. Come on, man. There are criminals that they're few and far between, but there are criminals that plan horrible, horrible crimes. And the one that I'm thinking of right now is the man who murdered Shelby Thornburg. If you don't know that case, go over to my website, gavinfish.com, go over to cases and scroll down. I think it's near the bottom. There it is, Shelby Thornburg. Shelby Thornburg was a woman who was working as a sex worker and was killed by one of her Johns. The dude had bought burner phones and paid cash for them, and then did not activate them until he knew the surveillance video from the place where he bought it would have been overwritten. It was criminal genius, and I'm really sorry that he was that smart. But I don't know what Tracey was thinking here. She has all over her devices that she is connected to the knife that was found in the victim's hand. Absolutely stupid. On June 6th, 2024, Tracey, let's look at Tracey again, texted her daughter RJ, quote, Matt made it so I want to kill him. When Katie asked about whether I had said about her being the camper too much, Katie is Kathryn, of course, which I never said anything, he straight up lied. I'm going to kill him. Bang. There it is. That was June 6th. On June 16th, 2024, Kathryn began using her phone's web search capability to look for rental cars. On June 16th, the same day that Kathryn was searching for rental cars, Tracey deleted search history from 10:18 a.m. to 10:31 a.m., including Utah gun law registration, Utah, I think that means shoot, it's misspelled, break-in, Utah gun laws and regulations explained, and how does private sales of firearms work in Utah? A few hours later, Tracey searched to file for divorce if wife is a Utah resident and husband is California resident, and how to establish Utah residency. Later that same night, Tracey searched renew my passport by mail and apply for a child's U.S. passport and how to get my U.S. passport fast. So it appears to me anyway that she was planning to kill him. She wanted to kill him. She was planning to do it with a gun, and she was planning to get out of the country fast. I mean, that's pretty darn incriminating for 59-year-old Tracey Grist. Not terribly smart. Very, very incriminating. Okay. On the morning of June 20th, 2024, Kathryn drove her and Matt's kids to Utah without telling Matt. Okay, so yeah, that would upset anyone, I think. Matt was upset initially, believing that Kathryn had left him and taken the kids, but Kathryn convinced him that it was just a breather and that she would be back in 1 to 2 weeks. At no time between June 20th and July 12th, 2024, did Kathryn tell Matt that she was considering divorce or that her being gone was anything more than a temporary breather. Matt believed that Kathryn wanted to come home, and she gave him no indication that she was hesitant about driving with him back to California. Text messages between Kathryn and her sister TF revealed that Kathryn had placed an Apple AirTag in Matt's truck before she left California in the rental car. Text messages on Kathryn's phone showed that Kathryn, Tracey, Kevin, TF, and another sister, RJ, all had access to view and track the Apple's AirTag and, by extension, Matt's truck location. So they knew where he was. They knew when he was coming. And, the fact that she put an AirTag in the truck shows to me pre-planning of this, right? This really is going to that conspiracy. On June 24th, Kathryn changed her chats with Kevin on Snapchat to be deleted after 24 hours. On June 26th, Kevin texted Kathryn, "The tag is still active. If I have to rush back, I can make that happen." Kevin then sent Kathryn a screenshot of Matt's Apple AirTag location. Oh my goodness. Like, this is reminding me of the Herculean criminal stupidity of what was her name? Tiffany Adams. This is a case that we covered here on the channel of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly. Like, they bought burner phones just a couple days before at a Walmart. There was video of them doing it. There were text messages between them. It was just like, I'm just grateful that criminals are stupid. I was watching a thing earlier today, guys, that was a former investigator and a criminologist. It was, I can't remember what YouTube channel it was, but it was Wired. It was, tech support, basically true crime support is what it was. And she was telling me that only about 50% of murders end up being solved. Only about 50%. It's a flip of a coin whether you're going to get away with it or not. And my friend Kenny Dr. Clark, who is a forensic pathologist that I've had on the channel before, it's been a long time since he's been here. He told me it's actually very difficult to catch a criminal. And the only thing that is the saving grace is that they make so many dumb mistakes. And that's definitely what is happening here in the case of the murder of Matthew Restelli. Okay. Let's see. Let me go back over here. All right. So they're tracking the AirTag. June 27th, Tracey conducted a web search for American Fork Cemetery and Alpine Cemetery. Come on, man. On the 7th of July, Tracey deleted her chat history with Kevin. I think that likely will be able to be found. On July 9th, Kathryn texted her sister that she, Kathryn, had a date the night before. All right, so she's moving forward here. On July 11th, Kathryn made a phone call to a divorce lawyer. On that same day, a friend of Kathryn's texted Kathryn what happened with the lawyer. Kathryn responded to the friend, "It doesn't look good." The friend responded to Kathryn, "Can you talk?" Kathryn responded to the friend, "I'm still processing that it sucks." Kathryn also responded, "I just have to establish residency. He, Matt, expects me to be driving home tomorrow. He reserved a car." The friend responded, "Do you think he will drive there if you don't come home?" Kathryn responded, "The lawyer said I'm in a tough spot." Yeah, she took the kids and left. That's a bad spot. On the same day, another friend texted Kathryn, "How did your attorney meeting go?" Kathryn responded, "Honestly, I'm effed." The friend responded, "How so?" Kathryn said, "Just dumb California law. I just feel hopeless." The friend responded, "So you have to stay in California? What are you going to do?" Kathryn responded, "I don't know. I'm still trying to process it all." The friend responded, "So you can't leave state?" I don't know what HU means. Is that Hun or something like that? Matt probably knows and made it so you're screwed. Okay, July 11th. Tracey searched. This is my favorite part, guys. This is my favorite part. Tracey searched, when was Donna Adelson arrested? Donna Adelson, as we all know, is the woman charged in hiring the hitman to kill Dan Markel. Yeah, her son-in-law. Oh my goodness. Like, as if she's going, well, I need to leave town as quickly as possible, right? So I don't want to make the same mistake that Donna Adelson made. So I'm going to get out of Dodge. That's evil, man. But it's also stupid. And I'm grateful for that once again. Donna Adelson, blah, blah, blah. Okay, July 11, Kathryn texted her mother, "Matt doesn't want to drive out. He's depositing money for me to rent a car." Tracey responded, "Nope." And then, "Well, we will just stay with you spraining your ankle and just keep putting him off. It's fine." Kathryn then responded to her mother, "Yep, if you deposit money, then I can use it to pay for the lawyer." Tracey responds, "Yes, sir. It would be a $550 rental, $550 deposit, and $300 gas." Kathryn responds, "I'll tell him." Tracey then responded, "Plus, you're going to sprain your ankle soon." Kathryn responded, "Yes, he wants me to leave tomorrow. I have to make arrangements for the car today." Tracey responded, "Can't drive with that ankle." Tracey texts a little later in the conversation, "I know we can wrap it and make it look swollen under the wrap." Yeah, I mean, wow, right? Let's pause there for a second. Let's bring Matt up, our victim here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Mooney, think The Shining. Oh, Redrum, thank you. Goodness. Okay, I didn't follow that. Thank you. So what was it that Aida said up there? Give me a second. Was it Aida who said that? Yeah, okay. So Matt's brother Mark, I think, made a video on YouTube addressing his brother's murder. Man, I'm thick sometimes. His channel is IC Live. It's heartbreaking. Okay, I will check that out, Aida Shaw. Thank you very much. So thick sometimes. Scrolling down. It never ceases to amaze me, says Nifty 50. How people like this and other cases think they can get away with stuff like this. Yeah, you have to be much smarter than this. And guys, you know my iron law of criminal mastermindery is if you think that you have what it takes to be a criminal mastermind, that is evidence that you do not have what it takes to be a criminal mastermind. I stole that, by the way, but it is true. Stoic Dissension says, oh yeah, Gavin, cocaine could cause one to run toward confrontational danger. I've seen that happen. So yeah, so maybe Tracey was also a little bit hopped up on the whole thing. Good comment. Keep on scrolling down here. Gavin, it feels like one of those young readers' crime novels where they give a ton of clues so kids can sort them out. That does feel like that. It feels like a very early youth crime novel, like a Nancy Drew or a Hardy Boys kind of mystery. Great comment. And of course, don't take my laughter for like, I don't, there's nothing about this that makes me happy. I'm looking at Matt's picture right now. Like we've got a victim here, but I mean, it does feel they're so stupid. They're just so dumb. Okay, let's see. Okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah, and Jamie, you're going to put that in our admin chat. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that because I want to check that out for sure. All right, let's get back to where we were over here in Acrobat. Okay, July 12th in the early morning. Like the cops on this one had to be going, oh my goodness, we have so much here. Okay, in the early morning, Tracey and Kathryn were texting about the car rental when Tracey texted her, it might help your story if you say you were there and they say no. Also, you might call them and it's better for them to say, yeah, you were here and we couldn't rent the car. Later that day, Kathryn texted Tracey, he is going to drive out. Tracey then texted Kathryn, I'll call you. Tracey then makes a 5-minute phone call to Kathryn. Thereafter, still on July 12th, Tracey texted Kathryn, I'm meeting Kevin for sushi. Shortly after that, Tracey searched It's Happening meme. I want to search that. Let's see. It's Happening meme. Okay, so. Okay, whatever. Strange. You guys can search it too. It's just like I'm seeing Michael Scott gifts and stuff like that. Okay. On July 12th, Kathryn messaged some of her friends in the online group chat platform Discord and told them, I have to do big girl things today. Wish me luck. When people in the chat asked her what she meant, Kathryn would not disclose what she meant. Kathryn recorded several of the phone calls between Matt and herself as Matt drove from California to Utah on July 12th, 2024. Kathryn. Katie, what are you doing here? In one phone call, Matt spoke to Kathryn about the route he was taking from California to Utah and gave Kathryn estimated times of arrival. In another call, Matt told Kathryn that he wanted to leave the truck running as they loaded up the truck, since he would only be there for about 15 minutes. Kathryn appeared to be taken aback by this and stopped talking, then began to speak as if she was confused about Matt not turning off the truck when he arrived at the residence. Kathryn then returned to a normal speaking voice and said that it was fine. Kathryn then asked, are you going to come inside? Matt did not respond to the question. So Kathryn asked again, are you going to come inside and help me load up? Matt then responded, yeah. Kathryn then said, okay, the front door is always unlocked, okay? Wow. Why would you record this? Why? Like You basically are showing police that he was thinking that you're just going to come out, hop in the truck and go with the kids, and you are enticing him inside. You are so dumb. In a later conversation, Kathryn told Matt that if Matt was too tired, Tracey said he could sleep there and that Tracey would keep her distance and that Tracey would actually be asleep. Kathryn stated she just wanted Matt to be comfortable. Kathryn assured Matt several times that it would not take too long to load the truck up to leave. Both Kathryn and Matt said they love each other. Kathryn then texted Tracey that she told Matt these things, and Tracey responded, "Very good." Wow. Let me grab some water here, guys. A little after 8 p.m., Matt asked Kathryn to put cardboard down in front of Tracey's house so he would not leak oil onto the street. In another phone call, also a little after 8 p.m., Kathryn again asked Matt if he was going to come inside and confirmed with him that he would come inside to help her load up the truck. Wow. Okay, July 12th, a little after 9 p.m., Kathryn texted Matt the gate code get into Tracey's gated community neighborhood, as well as a picture of Tracey's duplex. Officers on scene after the shooting found no evidence that Kathryn had packed anything to leave or load in the truck. Oh my goodness. These people deserve a complete and total knob award. I mean, total knobs. I'm glad. I'm very glad. Okay, on July 12th at 12:49 p.m., RJ texted TF. Kate talked him into coming out on the phone with Kate now. Oh, so she talked him into it. RJ later texted Tracey at 11 p.m. RF got here safe and sound. RF is one of Tracey's daughters that lives with Tracey. At 9:32 p.m., RJ texted her brother, TE. Matt should be at mom's in like 30. I have RF here. I think she's got Kevin, Kate, and JT there. JT also lives with Tracey, but was not home during the incident. RJ texted Tracey at 10 p.m. Orem. RJ then texts Kevin at 10:01 p.m. Kevin Orem, keep an eye on Find My. Oh, like he is in Orem now. Watch the tag. Oh my goodness. On July 14, a recorded phone call occurred between Kathryn, Tracey, and DR, Matt's mother. Kathryn told DR that Matt had come to Utah to have a conversation because the conversation had to be face-to-face. Kathryn said that Matt was upset he was coming out. Kathryn said she did not know where the knife was on Matt, and it was very traumatic to walk past his body. Kathryn stated she did not want to look. Tracey said that Tracey, bought the gun Kevin used on Matt back during COVID. Tracey also stated that the gun was locked in a safe high up in the garage. Tracey said she had no idea where Kevin was when Matt was shot and that Tracey was in the kitchen. Prior to this conversation with DR, Tracey texted Kathryn and told her not to tell DR anything that happened and to say it was all just a blur. So it was your gun that you kept in a safe? Is that what she said? Yeah, in a safe. But he had a holster on his person. Okay, after Matt's death, Kathryn FaceTimed one of her friends from the Discord group and showed her a picture of where the carpet was blood-stained from Matt's death. The friend overheard Tracey say that if she had known that the friend liked death, Tracey would have taken a picture of the body. Oh, that's terrible. When the friend told Kathryn that she was sorry that Matt was dead, Kathryn said, "It's okay, I'm happy." Oh my goodness. I don't even care if he's your estranged husband. That is cold, man. The friend told police that Kathryn would often complain about how much she hated Matt and how horrible Matt was. Kathryn had also confided in the friend that Matt was never physically abusive. Lastly, Kathryn would often brag to the friend that she cheated on Matt both in person and online. Wow. On July 16th, Kathryn was getting ready for a date 4 days after her husband was murdered, or let's say killed. It was murdered for sure, but after her husband was killed, she's getting ready for a date while speaking to a friend. Kathryn confided in the friend that she never had any intention of returning back to California or getting back together with Matt. Kathryn also told the friend that Matt entered the home with a knife and that Kevin went to the garage and grabbed the gun and shot him 8 times in front of the stairs. When the friend asked what kind of knife Matt had, Kathryn stated it was, quote, a tactical knife. Kathryn's web search history on her iPad showed that a few days after Matt's death, Kathryn searched, "How soon is too soon to tell somebody you love them?" and 5 ways to get rid of hickeys. Oh, that one got me. That one got me, guys. Oh my goodness, Kathryn. Oh. Come on, man. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Oh. Okay, I'm coming back to reality. A man is dead. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Come on, guys. Based upon evidence received from Joseph Norton of the American Force Police Department, I have reason to believe the defendant committed the offenses as charged herein, and that was filed by the Utah County Attorney's Office by James Watabe, the Deputy Utah County Attorney, and that is the last page. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, that's the last page. Oh my goodness, that last part, man, that got me. I apologize for losing it. I am so grateful for stupid criminals. All right, let's do one last little look-see at y'all's comments here. Let's just make sure. I want to like bring this one back. It feels like those young reader crime novels. Yeah, it does. Nancy Drew is what it feels like. Oh my goodness. It's like the mystery room I set up for my daughter's 12th birthday. It's that bad. It is that bad. And yeah, what a great theme for your daughter's 12th birthday. Okay. Let's see. Kathleen, whatever happened to divorcing your wife/husband and going on with life and getting the kids on spring break and every other weekend or whatever, right? Yeah, right? My goodness. That was just, yeah. And Jenny, you are correct. This is a devastating case. I will be keeping my eye open for it too, because what finally caught my attention was the whole Donna Adelson connection. Like trying to learn from Donna Adelson how not to get caught at the airport. Maybe you should have put that much effort into all the other parts of this conspiracy and murder. I'm so glad they didn't, because yeah, like E. Terry's saying, it is evil. It is evil. Not cool at all. Shoo, I couldn't imagine doing this to a dog, let alone a person. Yeah. On a date, yep. This is as horrific as it gets. Yes. Absolutely. 100%. You are correct. Let me, Kathleen. Well, does it tell the 5 ways to get rid of hickeys? Man, I hope she found out. I hope she figured that one out. That was very important. Moon and Stars says, Gavin, a little laughter is how we deal with things sometimes. It is a very sad case. It is. Guys, it is. I will keep my eye on this one because it's just tragic. It's just tragic. And again, this is my home state. This is the state of my birth. It's where my grandparents are buried. It's where they lived their entire lives, where my parents were born and raised. It's where I was born. Utah, this is one that I will keep my eye open for. Hey, tomorrow, guys, let me just, we might actually change our plan for tomorrow. Actually, guys, let me, I have scheduled for tomorrow that I think I will probably bump back to Friday, a look at the case of Suzanne Simpson, whose husband was recently charged in her murder. Her body has not been found yet. They've been looking in landfills. This one is a real doozy of a case out of Texas, but I think I might push that one back to Friday because I just got a whole bunch more Madeline Soto stuff, including an interview of Yolanda's, who is the grandmother, Jennifer Soto's mother. So we might be doing that one tomorrow. So yeah, for those of you who are watching or following the Madeline Soto case, please come back tomorrow. We'll be doing that. And then on Friday, we'll come around to Suzanne Simpson. All right. Don't forget, you can always head on over to my website, gavinfish.com. That is where you can get in contact with me, where you can read my blog posts. You can subscribe to my Crime Cod newsletter if that is your jam. Crime Cod is it's kind of a every week or so kind of a newsletter that I have going out. Also, if you click on this little fishy up in the corner, that will take you to the Fish Tank, which is our online little group where we chat about all sorts of different cases, including this one. This is an important one, David Elmquist. I will respond to that one post haste. Anyway, guys, hope to see you back tomorrow. Until then, I bid you adieu and take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.